everybody, and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here. Looks like the PTB is going to be next week. Dig into the changes coming in next week's PTB 9.2.0. Slugging reduction update, tunneling reduction update, the shape update, that's Michael Myers if you don't know, the clown and ghoul adjustments, and more. Wow, okay, color me intrigued. I'm interested to see this. So let's jump right in. We're going to go to the forums and check this out. Developer update. I have not read any of this. You're going to read alongside me in real time. The 9.2.0 update arrives next week. So let's check out the notable gameplay changes you can expect from this public test build. Plus, stay tuned for next week's PTB patch notes, where we'll share precise values that are changing for each of the topics below. Read on for all the details. Slugging reduction update. If a survivor is left in the dying state for a total of 90 seconds during a match, they gain the ability to pick themselves up after fully recovering. Added the option to enable or disable this mechanic in custom games. Note, perks that enable you to recover from the dying state like Boon Exponential will continue to function as before without needing to meet this requirement. Okay. Gradually increases crawling speed for survivors who are left in the dying state. So the longer you're left, the faster you can crawl. Added the ability for survivors to recover while crawling. Oh, recovery now occurs passively with no need to hold a button. I like that because a lot of times it would get interrupted by screaming and things or somebody touching me and letting me go. Updated several survivor and killer perks to account for these changes. Okay, I wonder what that entails. And then we have a graphic here. Okay, so crawling and recovering at the same time. Okay. It works automatically. Got it. All right. Oh, passive recovery while crawling. And then he's up. Gotcha. Okay. Pick yourself up if you've been in the dying state for 90 seconds. Developer note, when it comes to slugging, we know it can be frustrating if you are on the receiving end of it too often or for too long, but we also know that sometimes it's a smart move. This updated system acknowledges this, allowing the killer to slug occasionally when they feel like it's the right call, but will eventually kick in and swing in the survivor's favor if slugging is used excessively. A big part of this is also about making the experience of being slugged more pleasant, as much as being slugged can be at least. The recovery changes and crawling speed will give you a bit more agency when down, so you aren't just holding a button and waiting for someone to come save you. 90 seconds is still a significant amount of time. I wonder if that's going to be a starting point, if they might have to reduce it to a minute or something. Not sure, but nobody wants to stay on the ground for 4 minutes and bleed out, right? So better than nothing. Tunneling reduction update. This is interesting. When a survivor is hooked, their hook status is hidden from the killer. When they're unhooked, there is no notification and their hook status immediately. Whoa, you don't get notified when people are unhooked anymore? Whoa, all the comebackers, the comeback kings. Here comes the comeback kings. No ghouls flying in with their massive mobility. Someone unhooked right away. What? Whoa. This is disabled once all the generators are complete. Unhooked survivors gain the following effects for a limited time: haste, endurance, and elusive status effects. See below. No collision with other players, both killer and survivor. Immunity to killer instinct and sees the killer's aura nearby. These effects are lost when the affected survivor performs a conspicuous action. All these effects except haste and endurance are disabled once all generators are completed. Added a unique effect to the killer hook state UI that indicates the last survivor they hooked. After completing a unique hook, the same survivor is not hooked consecutively. Killer gets the following benefits. Really interesting. Bonus damage for the next generator kick. Temporary haste effect. Temporarily reveal survivors, think base kit barbecue and chili, that have less or equal hook states to the hook survivor. These effects are slightly lessened for the Blight, the Dark Lord, the Ghoul, the Hillbilly, and the Nurse. So basically, like, massive mobility killers. These effects are disabled once all generators are completed. Adds new effects that disincentivize tunneling. If a survivor dies before 6 total hook states, all remaining survivors gain a repair speed bonus for the rest of the trial. If the survivor that was last hooked is sacrificed or killed, the generators cannot be regressed or blocked. What? What? Oh my gosh. Added the option to enable or disable these new mechanics in custom games. Updated several survivor and killer perks to account for these changes. This is interesting. This is a huge swing at combating tunneling. Very interesting. Okay, so my question is here. Oh man, it's going to become difficult if you get squads that are going to like dress the same and stuff. It's going to become difficult for killers. You're going to have to really pay attention to the HUD and who is who if people dress the same, given this, you know, this is a lot. It's no secret that tunneling can be seen as an efficient way to play for killers. While this can be true, it's also true that the results of this can be frustrating for survivors, leading to trials ending too quickly for some, while leaving others to fend for themselves in a match that is now much more difficult. The intention here is for both roles to feel benefits and incentives that come from spreading out hook states. On the one end, survivors have better opportunities to evade and reset after hooks, while also limiting those tough situations where losing a survivor too quickly causes things to go south quickly and snowball. On the other end, killers are able to apply more map pressure to push back against efficient teams, covering ground post-hook and strengthening gen regression. Interesting. Wow. The Elusive status effect. Oh, look, a little bunny rabbit. Added a new status effect that silences grunts of pain and suppresses survivor aura, pools of blood, and scratch marks. To start, we'll be using this new status effect as part of the tunneling reduction update, but plan to integrate this into relevant existing perks down the road to make their descriptions more streamlined. Arguably, the easiest way to look at this is a survivor version of undetectable, in that when it's active, you know you're in stealth mode. The Tomes lore update. Updated the Tomes menu to feature new tomes and accompanying lore alongside each chapter release. New lore is unlocked each week within the active tome. Ever since we reworked the tomes, we've seen how much you've yearned for more lore. We're happy to share that beginning with 9.2.0, lore is back. While previously lore was tied to challenges, we want all players to have a chance to immerse themselves in these stories, so we've shifted to a weekly unlock not linked to any quest completion. That's cool. Okay, major update to the shape Michael Myers. What is this? Replaced Evil Within with 2 modes that can be toggled with a button press. Stalker mode and Pursuer mode. Stalker mode, 4.2 meters per second movement. Can stalk survivors. Wait, Michael can just go undetectable on command now? Whoa. Pursuer mode, 4.6 meters per second, 24 meter tear radius, increased vault speed, bonuses to lunge range, break speed, and stun recovery, and cannot stalk survivors. Once the stalk meter is full, Evil Incarnate mode can be triggered at will, granting the following effects for a limited time. Note, survivors no longer become exposed. Okay, 4.6 meter per second movement speed, 40 meter tear radius, and an increased vault speed unlocks the Slaughtering Strike ability. Hold the power button to charge this ability, reducing your movement speed. Press the attack button while charging to quickly lunge forward, adjusting your angle as you move. The length of the lunge depends on the charge time. If a survivor enters the killer attack range while lunging, they're knocked into the dying state. This ability can also be used to destroy pallets. Unlocks the ability to grab and kill or perform a regular mori on survivors who would die the next time they are hooked. Okay, so it's not like Tombstone. Tombstone's going to get reworked then, I guess? So you can't get Tombstone before being hooked at all. You have to do some regular hooking. Adjusted some of the mechanics of stalking, removed the limited pool of stalk points per survivor, removed stalk range to 32 meters, and removed the distance modifier. Moving while stalking has increased movement speed but incurs a reduced stalk rate, and reworked his add-ons. Oh gosh, the lunge. The slaughtering strike in action. Wow. By moving away from linear Evil Within tiers, we wanted to give players more tools they can use to adapt to each trial's unique situations, while keeping the core of what makes him the shape. Slaughtering Strike makes for a high-threat offensive attack, offering up an insta-down opportunity with an extended lunge that's particularly effective in loops and for ripping through pallets quickly. Understanding his kit has changed quite a lot, we've done a pass on nearly all of his add-ons, reworking many of them to offer more unique effects. In particular, for those who prefer his old playstyle, Fragrant Tuft of Hair will change Evil Incarnate to function like Old Myers. That's good. That's kind of neat, actually. Offering an exposed effect and no slaughtering strike. Stay tuned for patch notes for the full details on these changes. That's kind of cool that they've integrated something to keep like the players who like Old Myers, give them a way to still play that way. Huh. Wow, that was unexpected. Lots of unexpected stuff here. The Clown, minor update. Increased activation time of the Afterpiece Antidote. Uh-oh. Increased how long the Afterpiece Tonic's hindered effect lingers after leaving smoke. We've heard your feedback that the Clown's easier to activate haste can make instigating and maintaining chases less interactive for survivors. That, coupled with nerfs to his purple bottles, has pushed players towards this frustrating tactic. To make both bottles feel viable options without being too oppressive, we've adjusted the values of their most impactful qualities to strike a balance between pre-9.1 values and live values. The Unknown medium update increased the additional time added to weakened when injured by a UVX projectile. Increased movement speed recovery after teleporting, increased camera vertical range, and adjusted several add-ons. Vertical shot increased the additional time added to weakened. We got like orbital abilities coming in here. Is that what you're saying? Increased for okay. The Unknown is largely considered to be fun to play as and against, and we want to preserve that while adapting the current state of gameplay. We've buffed the UVX slightly while also taking what we learned from the animatronic to allow for orbitals, improving UVX aiming, and making for even more fun gameplay. It's also likely no surprise that Blurry Photo is the most used add-on for the Unknown, giving the importance of speed recovery. To help create an opportunity for more add-on experimentation, we've converted a portion of this add-on into a base kit buff while also doing a pass on other add-ons that are due for some adjustments. The Dark Lord Vampire form slightly reduced the Hellfire cooldown, increased the total Hellfire pillars by 1, increased Hellfire charge movement speed, reduced Hellfire charge movement speed, slightly increased slowdown time after casting Hellfire. The Wolf form increased the Pounce attack charge time and increased Scent Orb spawn time. So it's a buff to Vampire form and a nerf to Wolf form. Bat form increased movement friction to make flying easier to control and adjusted his add-ons. Vampire form is slightly less oppressive in short loops where movement slowdown has less of an impact, and toning down Wolf form's mobility, which has been outclassing some dash killers. On the flip side, you'll find Bat form easier to control in tighter spaces and can use Hellfire slightly more frequently and reach further with it. Okay. The Ghoul. When grabbing a survivor on the other side of a vault with Kagune Leap, the survivor is released at the start of the Ghoul's vault instead of at the end. They call that the kidnap tech. It's no secret that it's been a common pain point for survivors to be locked in place when hit with a Kagune Leap grab attack across a vault. Survivors shouldn't have to wait for the Ghoul to finish their vault before being able to move again, so we've removed this tech. No more kidnapping. The Oni, hooking a survivor, now spawns more blood orbs. We understand that with the changes we're making to address slugging, This will impact the Oni slightly, so we want to mitigate this by turning hook survivors into a greater source of power gauge buildup. The Oni is rewarded more quickly, with more quickly snowballing power by hooking. Yeah, the Oni is kind of the one that, you know, needs to slug because they're going to lose the power if they pick up and hook somebody. So Oni is the one who generally slugs to try and go get more value out of their power. So that makes sense. I'm glad they had the foresight to see that that would be necessary with these slugging changes. Perk updates. Updated various perks. In addition to the general perk balance updates you can expect on each release, we've also made a number of adjustments to account for the new systems that are coming to DBD for this update, specifically related to slugging and tunneling. Stay tuned next Tuesday for the PTB live balance preview on Discord, where we'll dig into the details of these perk changes and then follow that up with patch notes where you can find the nitty-gritty numbers. Until next time, the Dead by Daylight team. So presumably, on top of all of this, we're going to preview the new chapter as well, right? With a new killer, new survivor. Yeah? So this is just scratching the surface, although it's a lot. Huh. All right. I don't know why these gifts didn't load in here, but that one did. Very interesting. Okay. Well, wow, that's a lot. Let me know what you think about all of this. I appreciate that they're putting in systems to try and combat some stuff. Again, this is going to be a starting point. They might find that some of this is too strong or not strong enough, but I do appreciate that they're trying to make changes in this, and I'm eager to see where it all goes. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I always enjoy hearing from you. That's all I have to show you today. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate the time you spend here with me on my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel a ton. And don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.